application server, they are connected with the application server, and between application server and database server there is a database abstraction interface which is converting the open SQL into the native SQL. So all these things we discussed in our first class in detail, how actually it behaves. Then we saw how dispatcher takes the task from the user. Suppose we are going any kind of command, that command is interpreted by the dispatcher, and it's categorized in some particular kind of task, and based upon the task type it is assigned to the designated work processes. So there are 5 work processes. Based upon the task it is given to the specified work process or relevant work process. So first is enqueue work process, second is dialog work process, update work process, spool work process, and the background back process. So suppose if we have to give lock to the database system or any object, then we use the enqueue work process. Dialog work process means when we pass any command, at that time dialog work process takes that command and it executes that command. Update work process, like suppose if we have to update any entry in the database, at that time update work process come into picture. And the spool work process, like printing or fax, such kind of things, if we have to take care, spool work process takes care of that kind of functionality. Then background work process, if we have to run any program in the background, then the background work process comes into the picture. Then we saw the different component of a work process, how a work process has been defined. And after that, going forward, we saw that SM51 list out all the application server which is running on a particular server, and then SM50, this is for all the work process. So my first class video is already there on the Skype. If I will share with Adi, I will share with you, and here like you can go through my first video, and if you get any doubt you can have we can have a class, separate class, and there I will tell you all the this class things. And then this one here, like we started doing and here in SAP for a fresher I showed all these things, like what is menu bar, what is the standard bar, application toolbar, all these things, keeping in mind that some of the person are fresher over there, so I particularly taught to them. Then we started creating one I started creating one table, and we saw that how we can create a table. And during that like we were in the process of creating a table, and after creating the table I have given some assignment to all of you, and hopefully you have completed. And if there will be any doubt at the end of this class, we will be discussing all the doubt. Fine. So we have seen in the table that how we can create a table again today, because one new member have joined. So I'm going to start with a scratch how we can create a table, and there like it will be a revision for you people, and it will be a more conceptual way, it will enhance our understanding as well. So let us create one more table from a scratch, and here just let me yes, fine. So this is the transaction AC11. AC11 is the transaction to create the table. Here we have to go and we have to create the table. Whatever table we have to create, the name we have to give over there. In first class we created this table, Jade evening batch 1. This is the name of the table, and here we have to click on create button. So already this has been created, so I'm going into change mode, and here we have to give the short description. After giving the short description, we have to maintain over here delivery class. This delivery class is important for the purpose of upgrade, implementation, or some kind of rollout project. So delivery class means how we are going to deliver the object to the next system, like how is the life cycle of the SAP object. So first it is going to be created into the development environment. So just I will let you know the life cycle of any SAP object, any SAP development object. First, it's going to be created into the development environment, and once it got created into the development environment, after that it goes to the testing environment. Then it comes to the testing environment. Here you have to perform all kind of typical testing like DVT, FIT. Here you have to perform. This is our testing environment or test system. We also call it a testing environment or test system. Fine. And once everything gets tested successfully, then this changes moves into the pre-production system where user acceptance tests getting performed. And just let me show you over here. So this is our pre-production system, pre-production system, and here the UAT, user acceptance test, these things getting performed. And once everything is successfully running, then finally it moves to the production system. So this is the typical life cycle. This is the typical how how in software environment the coding or all these things works. So once it goes into the production environment, then it gets live over there and people started using over here. So this is the scene. So first development environment, here the unit testing done by unit testing means UT. Unit testing is done by the developer who develops the code. They will do the unit testing. Then in testing environment, the DVT and FIT, mainly DVT means design validation testing, DVT means design validation testing, and FIT means functional integration testing. Both kind of testing done in the testing environment. And then in pre-production environment, UAT means user acceptance test done. And then in the production environment, it comes to use that particular code in the live system. So this is how the life cycle, this is the life cycle of this is the life cycle of SAP development, how the approach is taken. Fine. So going forward, like here we have to mention, here we have to mention the short description, and here you have to use the delivery class. Delivery class means when you are moving your code from one system to another system. In that case, it will be very useful. That's why I was telling you have to move code from development environment to testing environment, then from testing environment to production system. At that time, this will be very useful. So here, generally we use select because mostly we are going to deal with the master and transaction data. So mainly we are going to select A, and after that the C stands for customizing table or maintenance only by customer. So mainly we are going to use either A or C. Out of A and C, 95% of time, or even you can say more than 95% of time, we are going to use this application table, the first one we have to select. And other things like L, G, E, S, W, we are not going to deal with anyhow. This is relevant with database administrator, or kind of it is related with the basis one. So for us, mainly A is important. So I'm going to select A, and here since I have to maintain the entry in the table, so I'm going to select display or maintenance allowed. Here we are having three options: not allowed, allowed with restriction, allowed, and not allowed. So I'm going to use this allowed one. And after that we have to give the field. Already I have given the field over here. This field is there, the first name, the last name, and the country, employee ID, and we have created its table. When we give the field, at that time we have to specify the data element. We have to specify the data element. Data element means you are going to specify the type of that field, so that that kind of data it will save. If you double click over here, you can see this is your data element. This data element can also be created. Fine. And when you give the data element, you have to specify the domain over here, and when you double click on the domain, you can see the definition. So what I can do over here, I can create one more field, so it will be having an idea like how we can create a data element for the new person. Fine. So let's create one more field over here. So this is, this is the first name. This is the last name. Last name, N name is not, L name should be there. It will be more meaningful. L stands for last, and then country, and here we can give some extra information like salary we can give over here, salary or something like that. Mobile number we can give, mobile number. Fine. And here we have to create one data element, so I'm going to write Z mobile number. Here this data element I'm going to give over here. You can use the existing data element also. You can just, what you can do, you can click on this F4 button and you can choose the existing data element based upon your requirement by searching from here. So how you can search that also I will show you over here. Mobile number is, mobile number means it will be having the number like 1 2 3 from 1 to 9. So 1 to 9 is what? 1 to 9 is a kind of integer. So what you can do, either you can accommodate it under integer, or in SAP character data type also holds the value of kinds of like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This can also be put down in a character data type. So what I will do, generally we are having char 10, 10 character mobile number we are having of length 10 character. So we have to choose the data type char, and here and the length should be 10, and let us see what are the data element over there. So just I'm clicking, so these are the data element already over here defined. We can use any one of the data element over here. We can use any one of the data element over here, and we can use and here if you want, see maximum number of feet is 101. Suppose if you want to check, if you want to see some custom data element. So custom data element means what? What is the meaning of custom data element? Custom data element means, or any custom data object means, that data object will be started with Y or Z. Custom data object in SAP, the meaning of this is custom data object, or you can also tell the object. Object means the name of the program, the name of the data dictionary object, like name of the table, this is also an object, name of the structure, name of the data element, name of the domain. So these all comes under the object. So these all object will be starting either Y or Z. So suppose, and whichever will not be going to start with Y or Z, that will be a standard data object. That will be a standard data object. So this is the custom data object, custom data object, and the one which is going to be a start with not Y star or Z star. So simply we can write others. Others are a standard data object. Others are standard data object. So here you can see everyone is not starting with Y or Z. All the here, whatever we are able to see, none of them is going to be a start with Y or Z. That means it is the standard data object. But what I want to search for the, if any custom data object. Custom data object means the data object which has been not created by SAP but created by people like us, created by the people like developer. You can create, other people also can create, not created by SAP. So whatever you are able to see over here now, all these have been created by SAP. So this also we can reuse, no issue. But I want my wish to find the custom data object, means someone, the people like us who has created. So what I can do, I can search either with Y or either with Z. So just I'm going to click OK, check over here, give here, uh, when we are going to give, we have to click over here, just click. Some problem is there, so let me fix that problem. Press F4 again and go to this data type, char, and give this 10. Again click on this one, and that is not working. So what I will do, I'm going to remove this one, press OK, remove from here 101. Let us see all the data element. Let us see all the data element which is starting with either Y or Z. Here you can give either Y star, or here you can give Z star. That is fine. So let's give Z star over here, Y star and Z star. Click this copy button and click on this again execute button. See, so all the data object which has been started with either Y or Z, it has come over there. Since there is no data object started with Y, that's why Y is not coming from, over here. Only Z data object is there, that's why Z is coming over here. So we can choose any one of them. I'm using for my mobile number, so let us choose, let us see what name is more relevant to my mobile number. So we can check the status description, and we can take out from here. So something what I'm filling over here, that student ID, domain, list, the description, whatever it is written over there, serial number we can find out from here. It looks like something like mobile number, something more close to this one, so we can choose this one. But there is none where written some mobile number, so actually what will happen, we can choose this one, it will work. But what will happen, if you go over here, click on this yes, and if you go to field label, see, no field label is coming over here, no field label is coming over here. So since no field label is coming over here, so in future, suppose if we are going to use this, if in future, suppose if we are going to use this one in ALV program or TMG, it will show you blank over there, it will show you blank over there. So since no label is there, I'm going to create my own data object. It will not take more time, and we will also see once more how we can create the data object. So the data object, this is a data object. Now I'm going to start with Z. Here field we don't have to start with Z. Here this field we don't have to start with Z. This field is not a data object. This field is not a data object. This is just a component of a table. This is not a data object. That's why we can start this one either without Y or Z. Anything we can give. But this data element is a data object. This is a SAP data object. So we have to create this one. Suppose if you press enter, see, it's telling this Z mobile number is not active. The meaning of Z mobile number is not active means it does not exist either, or it exists over there but it is not active. So just double click over here, it is telling it does not exist. It is telling it does not exist. Do you want to save? I want to save first, then it will tell it does not exist. Data element does not exist. Create the data element. Yes, I want to create. We have to click on yes button, and here we will give a short description like mobile number. Other person also, if they want, they can use this one, mobile number. And here the domain you have to specify. The domain means the technical description. So char 10, directly we can give this char 10. See, this char and 10 will come over there. The data type will be char and the length will be 10. Directly it will come over here. Suppose if you want to create your own domain here, just you can give the domain name Jade Mobile. That's it. Number also you can write over here. Click OK. It is telling it does not exist. No active means it does not exist. So just double click over here and we will create that domain. I'm going to save as a local object. Click on this yes button. I want to create and give the description for this domain. So this mobile number in my first video uh, about domain I have given some more extra information. About data element also I have given some more extra information there, also can be seen this one. So data type I'm going to use as a char data type, and the number of character, because mobile number is of 10 characters in India. So but suppose if you want to take some, if you want to get some country code also, so it will be like 10 plus 2 for the country code. And if you also suppose like if you are going to start with plus 91 like that, so it will be like 13 characters. So what you can give, 13 characters you can give over here. So you can see here now char 13, the number of characters it will hold over there. Fine. Save it, just save it, local object, and then just activate it. You have to activate, then only SAP will understand this domain is there, otherwise it will not understand. So you must have to activate any data object in the SAP to understand for SAP that this domain is there. See, now it's active, that means it is fine for us now. Now come again for this data element. We will maintain the field label over here. We will write the label. This is the mobile number. This is the label. Here you just give the mobile number. Here you can, as per your convenience, you can give the mobile something like mobile number, or you can give something like, because Indian mobile number, suppose if you want to give. It all depends on what you how you are going to give the, but this can be any mobile number. So let's not give the mobile number only, Indian mobile number. Let us not restrict this one. So this can be used by anyone. Fine. Press enter, save it, activate it. Click on active button, it got activated. You can see over here this data element also got activated. Go back. Fine. This table is now in our inactive state. Why? Because a new data element, one new member I have added, so he got inactivated. Again, what we have to do, we have to check the syntax. Once we check the syntax, it is giving some warning. We can ignore the warning. There is no problem if we ignore the warning. Activate it now. Click on activate button and see it is telling warning occurred during activation. Do you want to display the activation log? No, I don't want to see the warning. It got activated. It got activated. If there is any error, we must have to correct that error, otherwise it will not be activated. We can ignore the warning, there is no problem. Error we must have to correct. Fine. Go to the content. I want to see the content, so we have to click on this button and check the number of entries. Already we have created some 8 entries over there. Fine. Let us see these entries though. Our mobile number is also now coming over here. That's fine. Then after, we created one more table in our last class, that was Z event batch add table, the address table. This was for address. This will hold the address. So what it will do, it will take the employee ID and it will take the address over here. So it will take only those employee which is there in our main table, It will not take other than this employee. So if you can see, this is our main table. If you can see the content over there, this is our employee ID 1 2 3 4 5 6 9 and 10. 8 employees are there. 1 to 6 is continuous, 7 and 8 is gap, after that 9 and 10. These are our employee. This is the name of employee. The last name is not coming over here. We have to maintain the last name. Then country and mobile number. Of course, we have not mentioned any mobile number, so it's not coming. So for this employee, we have to manage the address in some another database. In some another database, we have to manage the address. So what we have to do, we have to go in this table, another table address, and we have created in the same way this another table. Let's go into display mode for this address table, and here I have given employee ID and address ID. So whatever member are there in our main table, that member only we have to maintain over here. We don't have to maintain other member, because suppose let us create one entry over here, table contents. Let us check if any entry we have created in last class. I think we have created some entry. 3 entries are over there, and you know, let us check what are the entries. See, 10, 11 and 12 employee ID are there. This address, some address, ASDF, this address is there. So you can see over here employee ID 10, 11 and 12. I'm going to open my previous table, the main table. This is my main table, main employee data table. Main employee data table, that is this one, and see over here, this is the country. All these things is now appeared side by side. I'm showing you over here. You can see that the extra employee ID 11 and 12 are there. The extra employee ID 11 and 12 are there. So this is inconsistent data. This is inconsistent data. Why this is inconsistent data? Because here we are having only employee from 1 to 10, and here 11 and 12 is also there. That means the employee which is not there in our main table, the meaning of the employee which does not exist, basically for that employee also we have created the address. So how we can avoid it? How we can avoid it? So for avoiding this, we have a concept called check table. So we have discussed all this in our last class, the concept of check table, the concept of referential integrity, the concept of foreign key relationship. All these concepts are similar. The check table concept, or foreign key relationship concept, or referential integrity concept. Only the name is different, but the concept is same. Concept is same. So what we have to do, we will check that one, that how we have created that check table. So let us go over there and go to display mode, and on this employee ID, one second, we have to check in the address table. In fact, we have to check in the address table, because in address table we are going to enter the value. So we have to check on this table. So click on this one, click on this field, select this field and click on this foreign key, and here already we have maintained the check table now. So now suppose if we are going to enter the value in this Z evening batch, this address table, it will not allow. Why? Because we have created the check table. We have created the check table. This, see, this is the check table. This is the main table which we have given over here. This is the main table. We have created the check table relationship with our main table. So whatever the data is there in the main table, whatever the employee ID there is in this main table, that only we will be able to enter in this address table. So whatever the data is there in the dependent table, whatever the data is there in the base table, only that data we can enter in this dependent table. This is the dependent table, and that the main table, that means this table, this is the base table. So that data only we will be able to enter. So let's go here, and table contains create entries over here, and here like click on this new entry, and press F4 and see here you will be able to enter only those entries which are there in the master table. So you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6, from 1 to 6 only is there, and 9 10 is coming from the master table. Apart from this, let us suppose if I am going to enter 8, it should not take, click on OK button. See, it's telling entry 8 does not exist in this table. Check your entry. Means in master table, in the master data, this 8 is not there. How you are trying to create the entry over here in the dependent table? That is not possible, because that employee which does not exist actually in the main system, how it can exist over there? So this is known as consistency. So we can maintain the consistency with the help of differential integrity, or also this is known as with the help of foreign key relationship, or also this is known as with the help of check table. So here, suppose if you want to give 1, and try to click click on this button, particular button, click, see, and if you click on the save, it will not create any problem. Just press save over. Why? Because this one is there, in the master table, this one is there. So hope this is clear. For getting more clarity, you must have to go through my first class video, then only you will be able to understand in a better way. So going forward, what we are going to do in today's class, that we will see some more stuff like how buffering works, what is the importance of buffering, how it can be used, and so these things also we will see what is the difference between value table and check table. So these two important things will be going to discuss in very detail, because these are very very important to understand, even from interview point of view or for working in day to day. This is very very important. So once again, I will discuss about the value table, what actually value table. So let's go to display mode, and this is our employee ID, and this is our data element, Z employee DEV. Double click on this data element, and if you go at the data type tab, here the domain is given there. So just click on this domain, come to this value range, and here you can see one option is there for value table. So this is value table. What is the use of this value table? So for understanding the use of this value table, first we must have to understand what is exactly domain, what does it do, what this domain do. So domain is nothing but, if you go to this properties, here you will be able to see who has created, who has last changed, what is the package in which it is stored, all these things. If you come to definition, you can see here data type, number of characters, decimal places, output length, routine. I will tell you about this routine, what does it mean exactly in some another class, or if time will permit today also I will show you this, what does it mean, the routine, output length, all these things, this data type, number of characters, all things are technical description. So for giving the technical description, we use this data type and number of characters, all these things, and we use the domain. Inside the domain also we can give the fixed value. I have already, I think, discussed in my first class about this first value. I don't remember exactly. Again I will discuss about this, but let us see now this. First let us see about the value table. So if you have maintained this value table at this level here, then wherever you are going to use this domain can be used at multiple places. So I will just let you know the hierarchy, how actually it is there. Like suppose if we are going to create one table, then obviously we are going to create some fields. So suppose uh, you know uh, or let us understand in this way. Suppose suppose if you create one domain, so this domain you can use in multiple data element. This domain you can use in multiple data element. So one domain can be used in multiple data element. So this is our data element, so this can be used in multiple data elements. So suppose this is data element 1, this is data element 2, and this is data element 3, and similarly there can be multiple data elements. So one domain can be used in multiple data elements, and suppose this is data element nth data element, anything it can be, and this data element you can use in multiple table. This data element can be used in multiple table. This data element can be used in multiple table. Fine. So I'm going to represent this with that. This is a table. This is our table. So one data element can be used multiple table. So this is this is our fine. So this is our table. So this is table 1. This is table 1. This is table 3, and this is table 4. So we can use one data element in multiple tables. Similarly, this data element can be used in multiple table. This data element can be used in multiple table, but domain will be same. Means technical character or technical description for all the data element, since they are using the same data element, all the data element is using the same domain, so technical description or technical behavior will be same only. And in all the table you are going to use the same data element. Where we can use the data element in the table? When we are defining the field. Just I have shown you, when we are defining the field, this is our table, and when we are defining this field, I am using this data element, and in this data element I am using this domain. So this domain can be used in multiple data element. Fine, this you understood. And I will just make you understand over here that if you go at domain and under this value range, this value table is coming over here. So what is the purpose, what is the meaning of this value table? Go back. So value of this value table, the meaning of this value table means when you are going to create the foreign key relationship with the help of this button, whatever the value table you have mentioned over there, it will proposed as a check table. That is the significance of that value table. Whatever the value table you have mentioned over there at the domain level, that value table, see J evening batch 1, that I have mentioned at the domain level. So just to remember this one, J evening batch 1, I will just show you over there. Just go here, go here and see this I have mentioned over here, this value table. So same value table, it will be proposed as a check table while creating the foreign key relationship. It will be proposed automatically that you have already one value table defined over there. Please take that value table as a check table. That is not mandatory, but system will propose. If your wish, you can give that value number as a check table. Means that is a standard behavior if you propose there a value table. Fine. So wherever this data element will be used as in the table, everywhere if you are going to create this foreign key relationship, it will propose as a it will propose as a check table. Fine. Now let's go again over here and I will show you.
So I have a question.
Yeah, please. Tell me.
Sir, is it mandatory to I have to fill the value table and
No, no. That is not mandatory. If you give over there, it will propose you to make as a check table. If you give over there, if you
suppose sir
don't give,
in a check table, sir,
mm-hmm.
suppose I have mentioned the table name in check table section, then it
Mm-hmm.
is valid in value table also or not?
Yes, it will be valid. It
Okay,
will be valid. Okay.
okay,
See,
sir.
value table does not have much significance. Check table is having most significance. Value table, it will just propose you, because at the time of development of this table, when I'm developing our main table, see, if you go over here, this is my main table. Z evening batch 1 is our main table. And if you go to, means when I'm creating the first table, at that time when I'm defining this, employee ID, and when I'm defining this data element, and if you go over
Yeah.
here and if you go to domain, I must be knowing, I must be knowing that in this table is my master table, this table is my master table. And since some other people,
Yeah.
if yeah, and if some other people is going to use the same data element, then they must have to define the referential integrity or check table, or foreign key relationship. At that time they should not, they should not confuse like what check table they have to decide. So when they are going to create the check table, at that time if it will propose, then the developer will understand, oh, we are supposed to define this as a check table. They will not get confused at that time. They will understand, oh, this is the master table, and this is already our, means this is already defined in at the domain level, that's why it is coming. That means it's a very important to select this table. Means we have to give importance more table while creating the check table.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we have to take this one as a check table while creating the check table. So this is the meaning. Okay, fine. So come to the data element level. I just showed you the importance of domain. What things, what stands for domain. So at domain level you can define, technical description. At domain level you can give your value table. At domain level you can give the fixed value. What is the meaning of fixed value? I will just tell you the meaning of fixed value. See, this is our mobile number. Okay, this is our mobile number. And now my requirement is that, uh, uh, let's take the real-time example, so you know it will be not a confusion. I'm just writing over here, mobile number, or here I'm going to write gender. That will be a kind of real-time example. And let us give z gender as a data element. So let us create the data element. It's already created. See, z gender someone has created gender data element, that's why it has come. Otherwise it has shown over here it is not active. Okay, so someone has created. Let's go over here and let us see this value range. Fine, this we can use. Or what we can do, we can also create our own. So I'm going to create z gender 1, or evening batch, evening batch evb. I'm just going to give. So this is not active, means it does not exist. Double click over here, click on this yes button, and give the domain. I can give with the same name, you can give as a domain also, no problem. And here you can give the gender. And let us create this one, because this also does not exist. Local object, yes, very easy to create in SAP, very easy. So gender and data type, char 1 will be sufficient. So char, take char, give 1, because gender will be either male or female, that's it. Or transgender also we can define. So for transgender we are going to take T, for male we are going to take M, and for female we are going to take F. So three, one character I'm going to take only, that's why I'm given char 1 only. We don't have to give more because there is no meaning of giving more. It will unnecessary unnecessary use of memory, unnecessary allocation of memory. So just give only the number of characters, that much only, which you are going to use. At the value range I will show you the meaning of fixed value. So we know that gender can be of three types only. One can be male, another can be this is male, another can be female. So female you can give over here in description, and transgender also if you want you can give. This is not required. Transgender, fine. So just save it, in a local object. The meaning of when I'm giving these three fixed value means when I'm going to create some other entry in our database table, it will not take apart from this. So by mistake, if we're going to give some C or D or E, your database will tell means it does not understand C, D or E. And of course, only if M, F or T is valid. So we are going to give only M, F or T. So just save it, activate it, go back, and here we can mention the label gender. Here we can give the gender. Just copy first one and paste everywhere. Fine. Save it, activate it, go back. This is also active. Fine. Domain, data element, everything is active. Now we will activate our table as well. So I activated my table. Let's go to the content and see the content. Gender will be blank because we have not given anything. Fine. Gender will be blank. Go back, and now I'm going to create one entry in this table. It's telling some problem is there, syntax or generation error in a screen, all these things is coming over here. Fine. Go back. What we will do, go to SE11. I will tell you the reason why this error is telling, why this error is coming. The error is coming because the table maintenance generator which we have created to maintain the data inside this table is not able to understand this gender field. That's why it is giving the error. So we have to remove that table maintenance generator which we are using to maintain the data, and just click over here, just delete it, and we will create one new one. So it will consider the new field also. So in last class I have told you step by step how we can create the table maintenance generator. Now also let us see once more time how we can create the table maintenance generator quickly. So here what you have to do, first you have to go in the table in the change mode for which you want to create the table maintenance generator. Then you have to go into the utility section and go to this table maintenance generator, click over here, and here that authorization group means, suppose if you want to give authorization to put the data for everyone, you just have to use this authorization group. You have to use the function group. Already I have created this one, Z evening batch. I'm going to use this function group. Click OK, and one step only, this maintenance type I'm going to use one step, single screen only. And this overview screen I'm not sure what to use, so I will ask the system to determine themselves the screen number. So I will click over here, it will propose screen number. Yes, system has proposed that screen number 1 they will use. Everything, every other thing we will just keep as it is, we will not do anything, and click on this create button. Save local object. That's it. Request completion without errors means our table maintenance generator has been created. So now what we will do, go to this display mode now and go to utilities, table contents, and create entries. Now it will not give you error. See, now it will not give you error, and it's coming beautifully now. It's coming beautifully now. Click on this new entry, click on this new entry, and you can create an employee ID. You can give over here whatever employee ID you give. Just 11 I'm going to give over here, and employee first name something I'm going to give, the work already I have mentioned, Adi Raj. And suppose let's take any title, Saxena, or country India. Mobile number, suppose mobile number is something like 8971472172, and if you want to give +91, this also will be taken because we have taken it as just 13 characters, if you remember. So this is 10 and this is 3, so 13 characters. And gender, if you see over here, see it's telling either you can select male, female, or transgender. You won't be allowed to select any other than this. You won't be allowed to select any other than this. So this is the meaning of fixed value. Very, very important. This is the meaning of fixed value. This is the meaning of fixed value. So whatever you have given over
Deepak,
there, yeah, hello.
yeah, couldn't understand this table maintenance generator. Why are we doing this?
Table maintenance generator to maintain the entry into the table. How you can create the entry into the table, right?
Yeah,
You know,
initially, why was it giving an error?
error it was giving because in last class itself I had created table maintenance generator, and now in that table what I have done, I have added one extra field. Just I will be showing you. See,
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
this
Yeah, I've
mobile
seen
number
it.
I, yes, this mobile number I have given, and I have given this gender also. So two extra fields I have created over there. So when again I was going to create the entry, it was not able to understand these two fields because the table maintenance generator, every time if you add new field or if you change any field, you have to regenerate the table maintenance generator. Okay, so
And what
that's,
about the screens and all while we were creating this maintenance generator?
yes, the table maintenance generator screen, as I have told you, see, this
Yeah, yeah.
screen and all, automatically it will generate. And when we will come into the screen painter, that is a part of our course, that is a separate chapter, SE51. If you go to SE51, we will learn in detail how we can create, how we can create a screen, whatever you are able to see over here. See, this create button, this display button, this change button, element list, attribute, layout. This screen, suppose if you want to create yourself, this has been created now by SAP. Suppose if you want to create yourself, how you can create, all these things we will see in detail when we will come in the chapter called a screen painter, that will come under our module pool programming. At that time we will learn. At this point of time, you don't have to worry. SAP will take care of everything automatically. When you will create on the create button, earlier if you remember, if you go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
change mode, yeah, there was a button called create. If you click over there, SAP program will automatically create the, SAP program. Here the create button automatically will create this screen, and whatever things is required, it will automatically create. So you just have to give this one as of now. And the function group, this of course you learn how to create this function group. So I will share my first video, you will be having better understanding over there. And then
Okay.
and if you get any doubt, you can always ask to me.
Sure,
You
sure.
can anytime come to me, I will help you. Okay, and you will make to
Okay.
understand. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Pankaj,
Yes.
Is it mandatory to maintain this table maintenance generator for each and every table?
If you have to maintain the data, of course you have to maintain. Otherwise, there is another way how what you can do. Suppose if you don't want to use this table maintenance generator, then what you can do, let's I will give you one example over here. Just go over here, go to display mode, and directly go to this entry utilities, table contents, and click on this create entries. I think for this also we have created the table maintenance generator. That's why it is coming like that. If you don't create the table maintenance generator, also you can maintain the entry, but one by one you have to maintain over there. Here you can see in one go you can create multiple entry. Multiple entry you can create in one go. But if you don't generate your table maintenance generator, so for example, I'm going to delete the table maintenance generator for this one so that I can show you. Let's go to utility, click on this table maintenance generator and delete. It will be deleted. The table maintenance generator will be deleted for that address table. And then I will show you how it will look like, how you can maintain the entry. Just go back. Now it has been deleted, and activate once more time to avoid any kind of conflict or anything. Just go back completely, go back completely, and go to again SC11. It is not required to go back completely, but just to avoid any kind of confusion, just I have came over here because sometimes
Sir,
if
not able to see your screen.
you were not able to see,
Yeah, sir.
who is this?
It's others you.
Yeah, it's problem from your side, others. Just try to log off and log in again. Other people is able to see the screen. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, please try to log in again and check from your side. It's an internet problem maybe. So, or you can check later the recorded video. Just try to log out and log in again. Okay, and later you can check this video. Fine. So database table, go into display mode here, go to utilities and go to table contents, create entries. See, something like this it will come if you don't have table maintenance generator. So you can select the entry what you want to give over there. Suppose give 34 and give the address something, press on OK button. See why it's giving the 34 does not exist in the evening batch one, because in master table this 34 employee is not there and we are trying to maintain in this address table. That's why it is giving this error. That's why. So we have to select one of the existing value only. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 9 10, whatever it is there, just select that one only. And address you can maintain over here. Address something like Kolkata, India, whatever you want to say, you just give over here. See, database record successfully created. So only the problem is here, one by one, if you don't create any table maintenance generator, one by one, you have to do all these things one by one. And also suppose your customer is there, SAP customer is there for which you are working. If they will ask that boss, I want to create the data, I want to maintain the data in the table, and you and if they don't have the access of SC11, because SC11 is the transaction where you can create the data, you can create the table, you can change the table, you can delete the table. So this SC11 transaction, they have to go to create these table entries. So every person, every customer will not be allowed to have such kind of access, such kind of very very important transaction access. It is not possible to have, because if we are suppose if we are going to give such access and by mistake or by they click on this delete button, and suppose if they change something in table definition, it will be a big problem. So only the expert person, like a developer kind of person, the person who has developed, who is having development experience, professional developer, those person should only have such kind of authorization. So but if you create the table maintenance generator, see, if you create this table maintenance generator, Okay, and if you tell that you have created that table maintenance generator and just you have to give this name, this is the name of your table maintenance object. Same, it is same as your table name, it is same as your table name. So if you give this object name to him, what he will do, he will go to SM30 transaction. This is the transaction. This can be given to the customer. Here they cannot be able to do delete or to change the table definition. Okay, table definition, they won't be able to do anything or either delete or something like that. Okay, so once you create the table maintenance generator, click on this, find a screen number, propose the screen number, it will automatically propose. Two steps I don't want, or let us say I will show you here what is the meaning of two steps. So let it be two steps. One step you have already seen, and this recording routine, I will tell you about this one also. What is the meaning of this recording routine? In fact, a standard recording routine, if you are going to select this first one, it will ask you for a transport request. But if you select the second one, it will not ask you any kind of transport request. It will be saved in that particular system only. Suppose if you are created that table in development server, the content will be saved in development server only. It will not go further. But if you are going to select this standard recording routine, what it will do, like when you are going to save, when you are going to create any content means a record in the table, it will ask to you for a transport request, and when you give the transport request and click on save button, that record will be created under that transport request, and that transport request you can move further. So along with table, the content will also go into the next server. So that is the meaning of a standard recording routine and this no recording routine. As of now, let us uh, select this one only, no, and just click on this create button, save into local object. It's creating internally the table maintenance generator. Request completed without errors. System is quite fast, so it got completed soon. Otherwise it takes around 1 minute of time to create a table maintenance generator, because it has to run a big program behind the scene. Fine, now it has been created. Go back, go to utilities, table contents, click on this create entries, and here now see here in two steps how it's coming. It is coming like this. If you click on this new entries, first it will come like this, employee ID and address, and then again if you click on the save button, so suppose if you come like this, 30 it will not take, because in master table it is not there. If you want, if you can give something like 10, and address something, give the address, click on the save button. It is telling already this entry exists with the same key. So same key entry cannot be there in a table. It's a primary key constraint. You might be knowing about that. With the same primary key, two records cannot be there. So let's give something which is not there. Press on save. Data was saved. So fine. So this is the meaning of two screen. Means first what you will be able to see, you will be able to see like that in one screen. One will be overview screen, and when you will be clicking on this new entry, it will come like this. It will come like this. So mostly what we do, mostly we use the overview screen, so that what you can do, that in one go itself you can give the multiple entry. And once you create the table maintenance generator, once you create the table maintenance generator, this is the name of your table maintenance generator. This maintenance view or this maintenance generator object you can share with your customer, and they will go to SM30. They will be not having the authorization for SE11. They will go to SM30, and and here they will give this object name once you share with them, and they will click on this maintain button, and from here they will be able to maintain the entry. They will be able to maintain the entry from here. They won't be able to go there, and they won't be able to change the data definition. Fine. So this is the importance of table maintenance generator. This is the importance of table maintenance generator. So just I'm noting it down because this was a good question. Why table maintenance generator? Why table maintenance generator? So table maintenance is required. Table maintenance is required. The answer is we can't give direct access of SE11. SE11 is what? This is where we create the data definition. SE11 where we can use the DDL, means
Screen दिख नहीं रहा.
yeah, DDL, data definition language. And mainly this is for data definition language this is used. So SE11, so we can't give direct access of SE11 to customer it won't be able to give, because SE11 is very sensitive transaction, where table definition can be deleted or changed, which is not acceptable, because it will create a huge mess, huge problem, you can say huge problem for entire system. That's why it is not recommended. So when we create the table maintenance generator, just we give the maintenance generator object name, maintenance generator object name, and customer use the T code SM30, and they can access it. Good. So this is the use of table maintenance generator. Now going forward, I have told you the value table and the check table. We will see, we will do a comparison between value table and check table for your reference. So what I will do over here, just I will create a comparison slides. It's here. Okay, check table versus value table. So check table I will write over here, and let's give over here the value table. Fine. So check table, what is the meaning of check table? So it's used for foreign key relationship, to maintain to validate the data entry with main table. Value table is nothing like that. It is not used to validate. It's a simple table which is proposed at the time of check table creation, at the time of check table creation or foreign key relationship, when we are going to maintain the foreign key relationship, at the time of it is a simple table is proposed which is proposed as a check table, as a check table as a check table at the time of creation foreign key relationship. Any question? Anyone is asking any question?
Yeah. Why should customer access this table? Customer should not see this, right? He should be seeing a different interface, right?
I didn't get your question. Can you tell me once again?
Like in a previous, can you go to your previous slide,
Yes,
if you
yes,
don't mind?
yes,
You
yes. I
mentioned
have come
that
over here.
yeah, we can't give direct access of SE11 to customer because
Yes, yes.
SE11 is very sensitive structure. You can only
Right, right.
dictate and change that. Okay, why should customer access the backend? The customer should be seeing a UI different from this, right? Or
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no. Wait. I'm telling you. See, customer also have the access of your ECC. They have to play with, suppose if they are belonging from, material management team or something like that. So they will go to create the material MM01 transaction. They will be also going to get same kind of a screen. They are not going to have the different kind of a screen. They will be also having the same screen until and unless Fury or some UI5 application has been installed over there or in
Yeah,
their
correct.
company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if Fury or UI5 is there, then they can use Fury or UI5. Otherwise, they will have to use the same ECC. Okay,
Okay, fine.
fine. So check table and value table. Check table it's used for a foreign key relationship to validate. This we have seen value table, and this is the main thing. Like you can tell. Also, you can tell some more differences. Like check table, you can create at the table level. At the table field level, this check table is applicable at the table field level. Table field uh, level. Okay, and here this value table, it is at domain level. It's at domain level. This is maintained at the domain level. Fine. So these two things can be understood as a uh, main important point between the main important difference between check table and value table. Fine. Going forward, now we will see the difference between domain and data element, because this is also an important concept which we have to understand. So I have told you, let's go on once more time at the domain level. Here we are able to see at domain level, at data element level, you can maintain the domain, you can maintain the built-in data type, you can maintain the reference data type, this reference to built-in data type, everything you can do over here. So mainly this is used as a standard, a standard practice. Means SAP developer, SAP development team, they do. But people like me, or people generally, the people is going to use this domain or this also. The second one, the reference type, this comes under OOPS concept. So when we will be learning the OOPS, that time we can learn these things, but mainly we are not going to use this reference type. Mainly we are going to use this elementary type. There are two type, elementary type and reference type. Mainly we are going to use this domain or built-in type. And out of these two, domain is very popular because domain can be reused in many places, and there are many more advantages to use of using this domain, because you can maintain the value table, which is again a very good, like when you are going to create the check table, you don't have to bother about what kind of check table you have to maintain. So whatever it will propose, that will be your perfect check table. Fine. So this domain, if you come over here, Inside the domain, we have seen already that this data type, number of characters in wildwood
Right.
aims, you can maintain the fixed value. Hmm.
Yeah, I want one more. I have one more doubt. Actually, in my office, we have a
Uh-huh.
Fury and we have this what do you call it as custom tables and other things. So a
Mm-hmm.
custom table is created and Fury will fetch the records from the custom table. Is it?
Yeah, yeah. See, what actually happens, there is a different, when Fury comes into the picture, there is a gateway. See, this is our ECC server on which I am working. Okay, this is our ECC server. And when, suppose if you are having different front-end technology, suppose this is your Fury and or UI5 application. Fury is nothing but it's a application based on UI5. Fury and UI5 both is same. Okay. Or suppose if you have WebDin Pro. Suppose if you are having WebDin Pro also, it can be there. But when WebDin Pro comes, there will be a different scenario. Let's discuss first with this Fury and UI5. So actually this Fury has to communicate with ECC. So this Fury require the data from ECC, the same table, like table is like this, suppose they want to show the same data whatever we have maintained over there. So they have to fetch the data from this table and then they have to show on the front end. So how they do, there is a in between system that is known as the gateway system. There is a in between system, this is known as gateway system, and this system is also popularly known as OData. You might have heard about OData. So in this OData, what is done, data is fetched from this ECC, data is fetched from ECC, and from gateway the data is passed to the Fury application. From gateway the data is passed to the Fury application. So this is actually, this is
Yeah,
the
uh,
uh,
instead of this gateway or data, can we use a web service?
yeah, if you are having WebDin Pro, then you can use, for WebDin Pro they use the web services. For Fury and UI5, web services is not recommended. Okay, for Fury and
So,
UI5, uh,
yeah, yeah, and this Fury is totally different from ABAP, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah, Fury
completely
is
JavaScript based, right?
right, right, yes, completely. It's HTML, JavaScript based, JavaScript, HTML, and XML. These are the base things for Fury.
So if I say for example if I know like the UFI people are different and ABAPers are different, right? Both are
Yes,
like
yes, yes.
two different.
Yes, yes. Both are completely two different, both are completely two different technology and two different developer. But nowadays, many people like me, I also worked on Fury and UI5. This I have worked around 2 years on Fury and UI5, and I have learned this Fury and UI5 by putting lot of effort. This OData also I have learned because OData is there in the ABAP code itself, so it's easy to learn OData, and ABAP I was already knowing. So nowadays means ABAP developer can also learn the Fury and UI5. So these are known as a full stack developer. If you know the front end also, if you know the gateway also, and if you know the ECC also, like ABAP, OData, and Fury, all these things if you are knowing, that means a single person can develop the front end, this middleware, the gateway, and the backend also. So same person can handle all these things. That's why they are known as the full stack developer. So if you know all these things, then it will be known as a full stack developer. If you know only ECC, means ABAP, then you will be known as only ABAP developer. If you know only OData
Yeah,
developer,
can
OData, yeah.
can can we get Excuse me, can we get this full stack developers in the market? Like what I heard is ABAP is different, like what you explained, ABAP is different, Fury is different. So, is it, are these people East available full stack developers?
Yes, yes. See, full stack means they should know everything. Means backend also they should know, gateway also they should know, and front end they should also. See, in market it will be these people are in more demand. These full stack developer are in more demand. They are having a handsome salary than only the ABAP developer. Or only suppose a person is only they are expert in UI5, they will be getting less salary than a full stack developer. Full stack knows all these things.
All the three.
Okay, yeah, all the three they are having the idea about. Okay, fine. So this data element and domain we are talking it about. So now let us come at the data element level. So this is our data element. Double click over here. At data element level, you can define the domain. You can define under the further characteristic, you can define search help. You can define the parameter ID. I will let you know about this parameter ID in coming classes. You can define this default component. I have never used this default component. What does it stand? We will not talk about this one. Change document means this is the concept of ALE IDoc. This is the concept of ALE IDoc. This change document. I will let you know about it. No input history. I don't know what is this. Field label. Here the meaning of field label means if you don't give the field label, then you won't be able to get the label. Like suppose you have got over here, if you come over here, say just to go utility table content and create entry. See this employee ID and address, you are able to see. Why this employee ID and address, this label you are able to see because this this field label have been maintained over here. This field label have been maintained over there. That's why you are able to see over there. If you don't maintain this one, you won't be able to see. It will be very difficult to identify what field actually is there. It will be nothing there. It will be just blank. So field label is important to maintain. So now we will just see the differences between data element and domain because it's a very important from interview point of view and also from understanding point of view. So data element versus domain, we will do a comparison. Data element, I've selected the wrong format. Let me delete this one, go to new, and I have to select this one. Okay, data element versus domain. So here I will write the domain and here I will give you the data element. So the meaning of domain means technical description. Technical description means the data type. What is the data type? Data type, length, etc. This is the meaning of technical description. Data element means it gives you the semantic description. Semantic description means you will be able to understand. Like for example, see here, this is our data element. If you come over here, you can see this field label, employee ID, uh, these all these things we are able to see. Further characteristic, data type, domain, and all these things, the short description, it all tells you about the semantic description. It all tells you about the semantic description, like field label, domain, all these things is going to tell you about the semantic description. One domain can be used in multiple data element. In multiple data element it can be used. One data element can be used in multiple table. one data element can be used in multiple table. Okay, at domain level, at domain level, here you can define the value table. At domain level, you can define the value table. At data element level, value table option is not there. Value table option is not there at data element level. Okay, fine. So these are some important differences between domain and data element. Just you have to remember it, so that you know better than remembering. If you know the concept, if you're paying attention over there, you don't have to remember anything. You will be able to you will be able to find out, you will be able to remember longer if you understand the concept. And see, here at data element level, you will be able to provide the search help, parameter id, and change document option. These all things are there. So this is also an important thing. Let me note it down for you. So you can mention the search help uh, at data element level. Let me give it over here. Value table option is not there. Fine. At data element level, search help you can give. You can maintain the parameter id. You can maintain the change document option. And at the value table, there is no such option. There is no such option. At the domain level, at the domain level, you will be able to only use the fixed value option is there. Fixed value option that you can use at the domain level. So fine, these are the 4 important differences between domain and data element. Just remember it. It will be helpful at the time of interview and in day-to-day working also. Fine. Just go back, and now we will see some more stuff in data dictionary. Like, there are actually 3 types of table. There are actually 3 types of table. We will see what are the different types of table, and we'll see over here different types of table. So what are the 3 types of table? We are having, this is the table, we can say this is the table, and we are having actually control C, control V, control V 3 times. I'm going to just give over here, and this is transparent table. One type is known as transparent table. So whatever we create by default, that will be a transparent table. Whatever we create by default, that will be a transparent table. So whatever we have created as of now, see, this is a transparent table. You can see over here all the tables. So mostly 99.99%, or almost at the 100% of time, we are going to create only transparent table. In the life, I'm having around 10 years of experience. Never I came to create, the pool table or cluster table. Every time I created the, transparent table only. Transparent table. This is 99.99%. And on another table is named as pool table, and the third table is the cluster table. This is the third table. So there are 3 types of table: transparent, pool, and cluster. We can tell this is the 1, and this is 1. This is the second table, and this is the third table. Second and third each in a standard SAP table. Second and third table, you can see, like there is table called BSEG table. So this is BSEG is also a transparent table. There is a table BSEG, and I think this is a HANA database. It's a HANA database. So actually BSEG is a cluster table, but here if you can see over here, in HANA database, BSEG is transparent table. Why? If you go to extra and change table value, I think, yeah, see here, uh, transparent table on following DBs. You can see this option. SAP HANA database has been selected over here. So suppose if your database is HANA, then though primarily this table is cluster table. This BSEG is a cluster table. Cluster table means a huge table. It's a very big table. This BSEG is very big table, but when HANA database came into picture, everything, if you come over here and go into the technical setting, and if you see the DB specific property, here you see column store. It's a HANA database. So when HANA database came into picture, column store came into the picture, and since column store came into the picture, now cluster table and this pool table concept is not anymore, in case of HANA database. In HANA database, every table is transparent table only. Every table is transparent table only. I will let you know the meaning of transparent table, pool table and cluster table here itself. So what happens, as I have taught you already, that uh, we are learning, actually what we are learning, SE11. This is a SE11 transaction. Whatever you were able to see over here, this is SE11 transaction. That is a data dictionary. This is actually data definition language. Data definition language means the language which is used to create the table, modify the table, or delete the table. That is known as the data definition language. There is one more data manipulation language. There is one more data control language. So these are the languages of the database. So I will just note it down. Maybe it will be helpful for you. Let me go to new slides and put it down. So database language, one is DDL. DDL means data definition language. Data definition language. And the data definition language means the meaning of create, modify and delete. Create, modify and delete what? The table. Create, modify and delete the table. And then data manipulation language, DML. Data manipulation language. Manipulation I think it's like this, manipulation language. And here inside the database, suppose if you have to modify some record, okay, or insert some record, modify some record, modified record, or delete some record, So this comes under DML, data manipulation language. DML, fine. And there is one more, DCL, data control language. Data control language. So this data control language is related with role and authorization. Every people won't have access of all the table, all the data. So these are the important, these are the important languages in the database languages. And whatever database we are learning, this database is RDBMS system. Whatever database we are learning, this is RDBMS system. This HANA, Oracle, Sybase, DB6, all these are RDBMS. RDBMS means Relational Database Management System. RDBMS. This is the meaning of relational database management system. So this is the meaning of relational database management system. So these all are HANA, Oracle, DB6, SQL, SQL. These all are the SQL database also, and there are many more database which are relational database system, but mainly these are getting used in our SAP. So SQL, DB6, Sybase, Oracle, these were the old database. These are the old database, but in 2011, I think, this HANA database came into picture. This HANA database, this is developed by SAP. This is developed by SAP system only, and it's amazingly fast due to massive parallel processing and in-memory database, because in RAM side this database has been installed, and the hardware, the processor is going to be used inside the hello, yes.
Hello, Pankaj, I just want to ask you one question. Can SAP connect or SAP um, uh, store the data in Oracle or SQL Server?
SQL Server, yes, it is. Earlier SQL Server was there, right? SQL database was there.
So whatever. Oh, I see.
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking a lot. I'm not able to hear you properly. Your voice is breaking a lot. Okay. So fine.
My question was,
Uh-huh.
instead of HANA database, can we use Oracle or SQL Server?
Surely. Earlier they were using this database only, but this database is not that much fast. This database were slow database. These database were slow database, but with the
So
hardware and soft.
HANA is like HANA is like a big data. Can we consider something like that?
No. This is not a big data. This is not a big data. This is not a big data. Big data is MongoDB or Hadoop. That is a big data concept. HANA data is a kind of relational database, RDBMS only. This HANA is a RDBMS only. This is similar to this database only, but this is, this is this gets stored at hard disk level, and this processing way is different. But HANA database gets a lot of background noise is coming. Could you please mute yourself? So HANA database, hardware enhancement, and it came with the software enhancement. This is a different topic, and this generally I cover in my ABAP on HANA course. Software enhancement. Just I'm giving you some overview over here, so you will be having some idea as a ABAPer. You should know. So this HANA database, hardware enhancement and software enhancement, this is a combination of hardware enhancement and software enhancement. That's why it is known as hybrid database. That's why it is known as hybrid database. Hybrid database. This is the reason, and this is very fast. This HANA database is very fast. Fine. And there are many other things are with this HANA database. Now you can attach the sensor. Now you can attach the sensor. You can use in a machine learning. You can use in IoT. You won't be able to do with the help of in this Oracle, Sybase, all these things. With this old database, all the new technology has been integrated with this HANA database. So that's why this HANA database is the demand of new era in the SAP. Fine, let's save it. And we were discussing this database language. Okay, yeah. So we were discussing about this. Actually, mainly we were discussing about the different type of tables. In order to make you understand the concept of different type of table, I came to teach you all these things. So let me change the sequence of slides. Fine. different types of table. These are the different type of tables, and here I will tell you how actually what is the meaning of all these things. So let me open this one, and here what we can do, what you can do, this is, you know, this is your ECC server application layer. This is your application layer where SE11 transaction is there, and here only you are going to use, you know, DDL option. Here you are going to use, and you are going to create, you know, you are going to create table, you are going to create view, you are going to create search help, all these things, and lock object, all things you are going to create under this you know, SE11, this data dictionary transaction. So what happens now? What happens that in ECC, in application server, you know, in application server, actually we are having a database interface. We are having a database interface. In this application server, we are having one database interface component, you know, database interface component. Let me fill this with this one, and I will write it over here, database interface. And what does it do? That this database interface, what does it do? It communicate with the underlying database. It communicate with underlying database. You know, whatever, this database can be anything. This database can be anything, any database. This can be, it can be, you know, it can be your HANA database, or it can be your Max database, or it can be your SQL database, it can be your MaxDB, it can be your DB6, it can be anything. It can be any database. So now what does, when you create any table, you know, when you create any table, actually this Max, SQL or Max, they understand something like create command, create table. Their syntax is different. If you have learned the Oracle or something like that, you know, if you have learned Oracle command, how to create the table in Oracle, then something they are having a language like create table. If you go and create it directly at the, you know, DDL language, if you create a DDL language, you will be getting syntax like this, and you have to give the, you know, name of the field, and over there you have to specify where kind of, you know, character data type, something like that, and then only it will be created, the table will get created inside this inside such a database table. So what does it do, this database interface? Whenever you go to SE11 transaction, and you know, and you click on this create button, and you click on this create button, suppose I'm going to, you know, J test, and click on this create button, it's already there, fine, give one. This is also someone has given, let's give something like this, click on this create button, and if you give, you know, here, and you mention this delivery class, and you mention when all these things, and give this field and on, you know, this is what SAP has done. SAP has given you a very beautiful and user friendly user interface for a developer. They don't have to write, you know, create table, modify table, drop table, such kind of syntax we don't have to use. It's a very easy to create a table over here. If you have to use the syntax at the database layer, it will be very difficult to create a table. You have to remember the syntax, you know. Here even a layman developer, even a, you know, a dumb developer also can create a table. Any developer can create a table. It's very easy to create a table over here. So the database interface, the database abstraction layer or database interface, both is same thing. So this database interface, it converts the command into their native language. So when you give some field, suppose if we're going to give some field, you know, I've given some last name, something, or whatever, any field if you give, and here you give the type, here you give the type, okay, data element you give, And when you click on this save button and when you click on this activate button, what it does, the database interface converts all these things into their native language. Whatever database is attached, based upon database there in their native language, it converts the language and it sends the command into this database, and then it creates the table. It's create the definition for the table. So once it creates the table, what happens, we are having here option to choose the transparent table, to choose, if you go to extra and table category, there is a option table category, and if you choose pool table, cluster table, and then if you click and activate, so based upon the option what you are going to give, based upon that, internally the system creates the database inside this database. So actual table is going to be created inside this database, not here, actual database is going to be created here. The name will be there, the definition will be created over here also, but actually the database will be here. The content and everything will be going to be saved in this database only. Hopefully it's clear.
Yeah.
So now,
Can we open, like in SQL Server, we can open the database and see, whether the data is stored or not. Like, can we open the HANA database and see all these things?
yeah, you must have the HANA administrator role to see all the data over there at the database level. Okay, you must have the administrator role. If you don't have the administrator role, you won't be able to see the data at the database level, because that is also very sensitive. Okay.
Normally, in all the organization, we have Oracle DBA, SQL Server DBA. Like this, you have HANA DBAs also?
Yes, HANA is like that only, but it's a advanced database. Yeah, it's very, very fast, amazingly fast. It is around 900 times faster than this SQL DB, Oracle DB, or conventional DB. 900 times fast. It's a very, very fast, this HANA database. Okay. So fine. Coming forward, I will tell you the transparent table. Uh, there is a reason behind telling all these stories, so that you can understand the meaning of transparent table, pool table, and cluster table. Here I will tell you the difference. So fine. What happens when you create the field, when you create the table, if that table is transparent table, so when you create the table at SC11, like in ECC, when you create the table, the same table name with the same field getting generated in the database also, in case of transparent table. So in case of transparent table, it happens like that. So in transparent table, there is one-to-one relationship. This is known as one-to-one relationship. Why? Because if one table you create over here, only one table gets created over there. This is the meaning of one-to-one relationship. And but if you choose the pool table or cluster table, what happens? Here at SC11 level, you are going to create multiple table. At SC11 level, you are going to create multiple table, but inside the database, actually, it will be one table only. That's why this is known as many to one. So this both pool table and cluster table, this is based on many to one relationship. Very, very important. This is very, very important. But in now HANA database, you don't have to worry. There is no pool table concept or cluster table concept. But still we have to know this concept, because everywhere now not HANA database, right?
Pankaj, one more thing. Can you please explain me this many to one and one to one? I did not understand.
You see, one-to-one relationship means if you create one table over here, if you create a table over here, Suppose if we are going to create one table, for example, z test. This is the table name. Z test is your table name. Suppose this table you are going to create it. This table is your Z test. So same table here also will get created. Only one table here also it's going to be created. But in case of pool table, what we will do, we'll have to create a many pool table over here, and corresponding to the pool table there will be only one table will be here. That table will be means known as table pool. Okay, here you have to create multiple cluster table, and corresponding to that cluster tables only one table will be created in the database layer, and that will be known as table cluster. That will be known as table cluster. So in transparent table you are having one-to-one relationship, but in pool table and cluster table you are having only many-to-one relationship. It is a work like that. It works like that. So suppose this big box is your this big box is your SE11 box, and this is your database. Then what happens that what happens here. Just let me fill this shape with none, no fill, and here fill, no fill. Yes, and now here suppose you have to create pool table pool table 1, and here also you have to create the pool table don't let me write in this way. Let me copy this one, remove it. Let me select this one. It will be easy for me. So this is your pool table 1, and this is your pool table 2. So at SE11 level, what you have to do, you have to create multiple pool table 1, pool table 2, and pool table 3, and similarly there will be multiple table. It all depends on you, and corresponding to that at the DB layer will be having only one table, that is known as table pool, and record of all the table record of all these pool table will be stored in the single table in this table pool. The table definition, this table definition, and all this table definition as well as the content will be stored in this table pool. This is the this is the logic behind this pool table, and this is this pool table is used to store large amount of data. It is used to store large amount of data. It used to store large amount of data. Fine. But if you go to if you go to cluster table, it's the same. Just I'm going to copy and paste over here. It's the same, nothing difference. Just at place of pool you have to use the cluster. The concept is same, nothing different. Cluster table, but table cluster, this is known as table cluster. But here comparatively it has large amount of data than pool table. Whatever means, it's a very big table. This very big table, and it stores the logically related data. For example, you can tell that it stores the screen number, screen information, screen information etc. Okay, these are the logically related data. So one thing I would like to make sure over here, that whatever you are able to see here, everything is there, every value are there, whether it is this screen or whatever you are able to see, this value, extra, system, help, menu, everything are getting stored in some table, everything are getting stored in some table, and that table, that table is nothing but your cluster table, where all the information, this is screen number, if you go to system and go to status, you will be able to see the entire information about this screen, all this information. Again, if you go to this, all this information, all this screen information, all this, uh, this screen element, so all this information gets stored, gets stored in the cluster table, gets stored in the cluster table. Fine. So this is actually, transparent table. That is, transparent table is means one-to-one relationship. Pool table means many to one. Cluster table means many to one. And you know this is actually the things which happens in transparent pool and cluster. And in next class, what we will do, we will see the comparison between, all this pool table, cluster table, and transparent table. We will see the comparison between pool table versus cluster table versus, uh, transparent table. We'll see the concept, we will see. If you want, I can also show you how we can create the pool table and cluster table. I will teach you the concept. Pool table and cluster table, it is not necessary to understand how it is created, but concept is also important. But you all people are agree, I will show you, because it is not mostly required in real time. That's why I generally don't show. But if a student demands, and if a student is willing to know how it can be created, I will certainly show you. It's very easy to create, nothing to worry about, it's very easy. And then transparent table, of course, this is the very important, how to create check table, how to create fixed value, all these things is very important. So in next class, what we will do, we will see these things, we will do a comparison from interview point of view. This comparison is important, because many times you will come across a question that what is the difference between transparent table, pool table, and cluster table. So this comparison, this difference is, important to discuss. So we will discuss this difference, and we will see in the next class. Already we have exceeded with 12 minutes, so sorry for that. We will try to put inside the time 7:30 to 9:30 only for 2 hours, so it will not create any problem.
Okay,
Fine.
sir.
And yeah, and the next class we will be going to see many more stuff, like, how we can create the view, what are the different types of view, what is the data type, what is the type group. There are many things, lock, object, search, help, domain. So tomorrow I think we will be able to complete this view and the type group, most probably. And I think some part of search help also we would cover. We'll see, let us how much we are going to complete. And let us, I'm going to give you some assignment, please try to complete it. And if you have any doubt, you can anytime question to me, ask the question. Just try to complete this assignment. Create one table, create one master table. Okay, and for example, like, create one student table, with some 5 fields, give some 5 fields, any 5 fields, create the data element for them, create the data element domain for all of them, and then insert the entry in a simple way, in a simple way, and then after you try to create, try to create TMG. TMG is nothing but table maintenance generator. Try to create a TMG, table maintenance generator, table maintenance generator, and with the help of table maintenance generator also you try to insert the data over there, and then create one more table, create one more table, dependent table, like any table you can create one more table, dependent table. Like here I have created the address table that was dependent on the employee. So similarly you can create the address table or anything, any dependent table, and try to give, try to uh, give the foreign key relationship, foreign key relationship with, foreign key relationship with a student id, a student id, so that you won't be able to enter any invalid student id. Okay, you won't be able to enter any invalid student id. So this is the whole purpose of this assignment. And for fixed value also you try to create a fixed value and check, uh, create one sample, sample fixed value at domain level. If you do all this, you know assignment, it will be very good for all of you. So try to do this example. If you are facing any issue, certainly you can ask. Fine, let us,
Okay, sir.
yeah, let us wind up our session over here. If you have any question, I'm having 5 minutes more, I'm giving you more 5 minutes. Please ask
Mm.
if you have any kind of question in last assignment
Yes,
or
sir.
today's.
I have one question regarding this one. In
Mhm.
the this suppose just like if I have created a transparent table and
Mhm.
like and we have given the relationship between with the help of foreign key like dependent that is dependent our table, and you have
Mhm.
told one many pool tables are combined as a table pool. So
Right, right.
uh, is it the table like we have created a student table? It is the student table is a transparent table, and one another table we have created that is address table that is also
Mm.
a transparent table.
Yes,
But
yes, yes, yes.
and,
Mhm.
and in the sense the that the I mean to say that the
Mm.
particular transparent table is like a uh, table pool, or is it
No, no,
only
no, no, no. See, table pool in our example and none where in your real time also. Okay, you won't be come across this pool table creation or table pool creation. This is the concept, means this is the concept we have to understand, because somewhere SAP has created some pool table and some cluster table, and in interview also they ask about the difference between all these things. So we have to understand the concept in our real
So
time development.
so
In real time
in
development,
SAP, all are transparent tables, right?
one second,
No
one second,
cluster
Deepak,
and
one second. One second, Deepak. Just let me finish my whatever I'm telling, so it will be clear for him. So in real time, actually, in real time, we are not going to deal with pool table and cluster table. Okay. So
okay.
we are going to take all the example of only this transparent table. Anyway, I will let you know. I will show you how you can create pool table, how you can create cluster table, and what is the comparative difference. One difference you have right now, I have shown you that the transparent table one to one relationship, and for pool table and cluster table it's nothing but many to one. Similarly, I will tell you some more differences, some more things, some more stuff in the tomorrow class, and I will also show you, if you people want, like how to be created this pool table and cluster table. I will show you how you can
Okay,
create.
sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, Deepak, you
Sir,
were asking something.
Yeah, yeah. So in SAP we have only transparent table, right? Since you said it's for the, I mean, for the HANA database only transparent table is available, right?
Yeah, in HANA database suggests means HANA database. What happens that in HANA database, this pool table and cluster table, the concept of this both two table has gone. Means there is no more available this pool table and cluster table in HANA database. Only in this conventional database like DB6, Oracle, SQL, there only this concept is there. Okay.
Sir, one more thing. I have created in last assignment one
Mhm.
table, and
Okay.
after creation of TMG, when I want to insert data, then I am
Mm-hmm.
unable to insert that particular data on that. They are not giving me access to entering some value on that particular
Can you show?
tab. Uh,
Share your
uh,
can you share your screen and
but
show me what
the
problem you are
main
facing?
thing sorry, sir. The main thing is that due to the internet connection, I am not able to show you. Right now, I am seeing on this video on my mobile phone.
Oh, okay. You are others, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, others. Okay, no issue, no problem. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you must have been doing some problem. So first you have to show me what steps you are following, then only will be able to help you. So when your internet connection will be good, just you can, tomorrow class before half an hour, just you can call me and just let me know what problem you are facing. Or in beginning also you can ask me questions so that I can show to everyone, every people can also know that what can be the what kind of problem can be there while creation of table maintenance generator, and other people also can check that one. So by 7:30
Okay,
let's
sir.
try.
Just,
Yeah, just you get your connection a little better, and if you feel comfortable to show your screen, just share with me, I will help you
yeah,
over there. Okay.
sure, sure, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Okay, then I believe no one is having any question. With this belief, let's end our session today itself. And tomorrow let us meet by 7:30. By the time, goodbye, good night.
Sir, morning or evening?
Morning only, morning, 7:30, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, bye bye, good
Bye, sir.
night.
Morning, 7:30 morning, is it?
No, no, 7:30 evening, 7:30 evening,
Evening.
same time,
Oh,
right?
yes, I know.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, sir. Okay.
7:30 evening, same time. I'm going to create one WhatsApp group there, all the information, like if any planning or if any change will happen, all the person can inform over there. Okay, but our class will be always here. If someone is going to miss our class, they can download the video from Skype and they can see. Okay, he can see.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh, okay, fine. Bye bye, good night, bye.
Bye.